have for you is partly to reinforce the idea that we are a parish in a diocese, so we are connected to you. And that's always been important at St. Andrews, and it is certainly very true. And so, you're offering us this incredible invitation. And I think it's marvelous. I mean, you've devoted an incredible amount of resources, of time and energy, and now there's money available. And I just feel like it's such a gift that you're offering us. And so I guess my question to you is, what do you hope for us to become, or what do you hope for St. Andrews, or how is it that we can see ourselves as a part of a bigger picture? If there's anything you'd like to say to that.
Oh, well, thank you, Barbara. I mean, what I would say, my personal hope and my dream is that all of us, all 63 of us here in Central Pennsylvania, and certainly you all at St. Andrews, would take advantage of this invitation to deepen that sense of connection to each other, and to see that bigger picture. I think it's so easy to kind of shut ourselves in. I mean, we call ourselves parishes, right? And a parish, if we remember, is actually it's a geographic distinction, area. and you don't cross into another parish's geography, right? And I think many of us are pretty clear that simply cannot be the way that we function. We cannot continue to be shaped as 63 individual places, all keeping track of just our own little fiefdom, if you will. That rather, the way that we serve God's kingdom here in Central Pennsylvania is finding ways to connect and deepen relationship with each other, whether that's an Episcopal neighbor, whether that's a local nonprofit that's doing God's work in your neighborhood, whether it's an ecumenical neighbor. But the clarity that I have, and that Bishop Scanlon has, is that collaboration and partnership is the direction that God is calling us into. So I hope that some of these resources, including the financial resources, are encouragement and support. But wherever this journey leads you, my hope and prayer is that you will find yourselves more deeply connected to another agency, another community, and that in turn will feed and nourish and deepen the faith of St. Andrews Shippensburg. That we are better when we are more deeply connected.
And of course, we're in a wonderful position that many of our neighbors places are owned by the diocese. So the diocese is really our next door neighbor. So it's good to have neighbors that we like. It's good to have, they're good to us, and good to have neighbors that are willing to work with us and really offer us opportunities to deepen our faith and allow us to be transformed by opening the space for the transformation in our community. So thank you for everything that you're doing.
Thank
it's really
you, my
remarkable
friend.
And wonderful. Thank you very much. It's a joy to be working with you. So thank you.
Well, it is my blessing, and thank you to St. Andrews, and if I can, Barbara, just thank you to you, particularly your leadership and your joy and the energy that you bring to this work has been a real gift to me personally. It's so wonderful to have you as a companion in this work. So thank you.
Thank you. And I think we're in some ways so lucky that we began this work when the pandemic hit, because some of the convocations were working already, and so there wasn't, to me, it was at a perfect time when we were already reevaluating what does church mean, and we can't do it how we used to do it. So what's going to be important, and how are we going to make a shift? So it really kind of built on that momentum of saying we can't go back, so let's do something really fun and creative and transformative. So we feel blessed in a lot of ways.
I think that's right, Barbara. And if I can even just underscore and add to that, I would even say I think it's a real gift that we identified the need for this kind of effort pre-pandemic, because it's so easy to scapegoat the pandemic, right? And yes, I think that for me, a driving force for me is the reminder that as many challenges as this time of pandemic has created for us, we recognized that God was calling us to face and address these issues faithfully before we were talking about COVID. So the pandemic is not the thing that primarily for me drove me to feel a call to this ministry. This was something that we identified, and we've, God willing, folks like you have been faithfully working through this season of COVID. But I think that's really put us in a wonderful place, that we had already begun this work.
Yeah, that is
before the
important.
period of pandemic.
Yeah, it's not a response to something
That's right.
that changed us, but
That's right.
has been in some ways a catalyst.
That's
for
right.
work. Well, thank you so much, Chris. We
Oh.
look forward to seeing, Chris is going to be with us Easter Eve, so that'll be very exciting.
I can't
And-
wait. Looking forward to it.
So thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.